Hello everyone and welcome back to another of your piercing horror stories. So my viewers out there, you have sent me your piercing horror stories and I would like to go through them and share them with the world. So without further ado, let us begin. When I got my nostril piercing, the man made me lay down with my head back. Already, nostril piercing, never. You never lay someone down for a nostril piercing. Jesus. And I'm sure she would tell us why. As soon as I felt the needle go in, it feels wet. I start choking because my nose started dripping with blood into my throat. I coughed instinctively because my head was leaned back and got blood on his hand. Thankfully, I didn't get him in the face. He then spent about 2 whole minutes shoving the jewelry into my face. Was not a fun experience. Never went back to him and found a better piercer. I'm glad you found a better piercer, Katie. I really am. Yeah, you never lay someone down for a nostril piercing. That is the worst thing you could do. Nostril piercings are one that almost will definitely bleed and this will happen. It'll go into your throat and you're gonna cough and why would you want a client coughing their blood all over you? You're an idiot. Where did you learn to pierce? We might as well just start laying people down for tongue piercings because this sounds like about the right thing to do, doesn't it? I used to go to this piercer in my city. The last time I went to him was for my inverted vertical labret. He had me fill out paperwork and then go back to his booth where he then set up. After setting up, he said he would go to the bathroom and was gone for a while. When he came back, he reeked of weed. He then gloved up and marked my lip, which was odd because it felt like he marked it for a different piercing. I spoke up and asked that he marked it for the piercing I asked for, and he had to think about it and then realized he messed up. This should have been my sign to leave, but I'm an idiot. He then remarked my lip and started to grab the clamps without me looking at it. I said I wanted to check it first, and he seemed annoyed about it. Another red flag. What a bloody horrible person. You definitely always get your client to check because they might not be happy with the placement or something crazy like this and they could pierce the straight up wrong goddamn piercing. I will not lie, a long time ago before I was a piercer, this did happen to me and I have one of the wrong piercings. I didn't want a particular piercing and I didn't check it and I thought they were just doing the right piercing. Turns out they weren't. I got a piercing I didn't want, but it healed, so I got it. So I check it and it was pierced way too high. If he pierced there, it would have had 0.5 millimeter to hold it in. I say I want it lower and he argues with me about it, but gives in. Red flag number 3. So now he pierces it, which went fine, but then he puts this massive curved bar in. I know lip bars need to be long for swelling, but this bar was a good 2 inches long and curved. It was ridiculous. After it healed, I went to a new piercer to switch out the jewelry. He even commented that it was way too long. The piercing itself healed like a dream and I still have it today. I love it. Well, I'm glad you love it. The fact that he's getting annoyed at his wrongdoing, and regardless, take some constructive criticism. Obviously, piercers don't want people sitting there telling them they're doing this wrong or whatever. If you know what you're doing, that is irritating, but it's if someone wants something moved, you don't get angry at them. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes you're literally basically made to move piercings because you know where the correct position is. You've put it in the correct position. They don't like it, so you move it and you'll explain to them that's not actually where this piercing goes. It might be slightly off, it's not going to affect the healing or anything, but looking at it, you're not happy with it, but they insist and they don't want it in that other position. You're not going to sit there and have a fight with your client. It needs to be on their body. They need to be happy with it in the end. Like you said, it obviously was in the wrong position. He dotted up the wrong piercing to begin with. So we do not trust this person. You are completely valid in all of this. I wanted a helix piercing, so I bought the cheapest piercing gun. I had my friend use this piercing gun on my ear in a high school bathroom. Everything was fine at first, only some irritation and normal pus leakage. 7 months later, I decided to try and switch it out with another stud. So like the person I am, I tried replacing it in a mall bathroom. Only moments after taking it out, it swelled up and I was unable to fit the new stud in and was forced to put the old one with a sharp end back. Not only reopening the wound, but potentially creating a second hole in the back and making the stud angled. Nothing bad happened after all. I lost the piercing that fell out of my ear 3 months later though. This is a very common thing with gun piercings is that like they won't heal. So the thing was like, as soon as she's taken it out, it wasn't healed prior. So it's reacted to that like straight away. And because it wasn't healed, it wants to like close up immediately. And that's what happened when she went to put it in. Doesn't go in properly. It's just like a domino effect, one bad thing after the other, creating a new hole in the back. Definitely would have happened. It would have been soft and potentially had some pus in there, so it would have popped through at a different spot, definitely. My mum used to work in the cardiac ICU, heart intensive care unit. One day, a girl who was about 16, 17 came in with an infected belly button piercing. It was so badly infected she got endocarditis, infection of the heart valves. Wow. She had to have open heart surgery. I'm fairly sure she had to get one of her heart valves replaced with an artificial one because of it. I don't know what she did. She must have pierced her belly button at home with a rusty needle, then not have cleaned it. That is the most intense thing I've ever heard. Do not fear, this isn't a common thing that would happen with getting a navel piercing, but yeah, you're completely right. How was this pierced in order to get an infection in your heart valves? Like, it would have had to have been done quite dodgy in like a terrible setting or something like that. I can't say, I'm not a medical professional, but I'm guessing like the infection got into her bloodstream and then made its way to her heart or something like that. That is terrifying. Like, your infection would have to be pretty bad and you would have had to not have done anything about it. And this is why you shouldn't leave an infection like, oh, it'll just get better. It's just an infected piercing, it will get better. No, there can be a lot more serious issues that happen. And this is like a very clear example of something that is very rare, but definitely could still happen. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like down below and subscribe to my channel if you are new here, and I will be back very soon.